Hello, everyone, and welcome to this special episode for Beats Research Radio for the heart and brain interconnectome ideas. My name is Deyanira, and today I'm going to be your host for the episode. We're really excited to have with us Dr. Ismail, who is going to be sharing with us her insights and experiences. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, I would like to start this interview by asking you could you please introduce yourself and your field of research?
Absolutely. My name is Nafissa Ismail, and I'm a professor here at the School of Psychology at the University of Ottawa. I'm also the holder of the University Research Chair in Stress and Mental Health. And my research focuses on the impacts of early life stress and how that impacts the brain, neurodevelopment, predisposes to mental illness and neurodegeneration later in life.
Okay, that's really interesting, actually. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
So, I would like to move forward with our second question, which is what does ideas mean to you on a professional and personal level?
Well, ideas to me means inclusion at all levels, whether it be personal, whether it be professional, but particularly from a research perspective, I think that it reminds us that we haven't been inclusive enough in the work that we do, whether it be at the level of clinical research, but also at the level of basic research. We haven't. And that has unfortunately led to a huge knowledge gap related to women's health.
Yeah.
And with my research, I would like to try to overcome a little bit those challenges and bring new discoveries for our women.
Yeah, that's totally true. I agree. I think females are underrepresented in most of the research studies, not only in previous studies, but actually we're still facing a gap.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is continuing. It has been going on for many, many years. We've tried to make progress, I would say, in the last 30 years or so, but the progress has unfortunately been very negligible. And so there is a lot of work to be done, a lot of collective work and effort to be done. And hopefully we can all work towards bringing better healthcare access to women and better knowledge about symptoms of diseases that are particular in women
Yeah,
and females.
I totally agree. And also, for example, in basic research, that's it's where I'm doing my research right now. We need to consider for all our planning our experiments to consider also like male but also female to have this data and see how our I don't know our solutions behave or our experiments.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Many researchers are reluctant to including females in research because they are concerned about the impact of fluctuating ovarian hormones on the
Yes,
outcome of their treatment or research data. But the reality is that if there is that concern, then that should be an even bigger reason for
exactly.
including the females and studying how the treatment is different with fluctuating hormones. There's also this misconception that males are not undergoing hormonal fluctuations, and they are.
Yes.
They actually are on a daily basis,
Yeah.
which we forget. But males experience a daily fluctuations in testosterone of about 50%, which is significant.
Wow.
But we are not concerned about that fluctuation. And why would we then be concerned about female ovarian hormone fluctuations? So there is this a lot of misconception in clinical research, in basic research, and we need to overcome these misconceptions to bring progress.
Yeah, I
For women.
totally agree in the part that if in basic research, researchers are concerned because the hormone levels are going to uh, have a bad outcome for the experiments. That's the reason why we actually need to do it.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then you'll have some researchers that will agree to include females, but they will overreactamize them because they don't want the fluctuating hormones. Well, then you're not studying a real female. You know what I mean? because when you look at humans, there is not that many that are overreactomized compared to those that still have their ovaries.
Yes, totally agree. So thank you so much for bringing that to the table, to the conversation. I think it's highly important just to people to know about this. And well, I would like to move forward with our final question, which is, in today's world, what message would you like to leave our audience with?
What I would like to leave the audience with is with this thought that women constitute 50% of our global population, and women have a right to the knowledge, to proper treatment, proper diagnosis. It's not normal that we don't yet understand why women are more vulnerable to depression and anxiety the moment they start puberty. We think that it's ovarian hormones, but basic research shows that it's not. So there is much more to the story, and we haven't investigated enough. It's not normal that we don't know the impact that oral contraceptives have on our brain. It's not normal that we don't understand why some women experience postpartum depression and others don't. It's not normal that we don't understand why some women are experiencing polycystic ovary syndrome and why that would be linked to depression. It's not normal that we don't understand the physiological and psychological changes that women experience during menopause, or that we don't understand why women are more likely to develop Alzheimer's disease than men. And we know that even corrected by age and lifespan, that it still holds true. That tells us that it's not just the fact that women are living longer than men. They are living longer than men, but with greater disease burden than men. And we need to keep all this information in mind and search for responses. That population, 50% of our global population, has a right to proper care, proper treatment, proper diagnosis.
Thank you so much. It's actually really inspiring to see you talking about this topic that sometimes it's not, people don't talk about it, you know? I think we need to open more the conversation to make it normal.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And there is a lot of data now showing the importance of emphasizing research that is related and specific to women's health issues, rather than just constantly looking at sex differences and gender differences and so on. There is much more to that we need to dig into. But we need to have researchers that are ready to do that. We need to have physicians that are willing to take that knowledge and implement it in the clinic. And this is why it has to be a collective effort.
Well, thank you so much for allowing us to learn from you. And I would like to thank you also for taking the time to having this interview and for sharing your experiences and your insight with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
I would also like to thank all of our Beats Research Radio audience for tuning in. I will invite you to like our video and to subscribe to our YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram channels at Beats Research. And on behalf of our entire team and our director, Dr. Emilio Alarcón, we hope to see you all in the next episode. Thank you.